Hello and welcome to Here Tutoring. In this video, we're going to cover the top 4 strategies for the SAT Critical Reading Test. The SAT Critical Reading section is predictable enough that there are some very specific things you should do and watch for as you take the Critical Reading Test that will help you improve your score for this test. So, here they are in no particular order. Strategy number 1. Try to come up with a potential answer in your head before looking at the answer choices. Usually, it's a much better idea to know what kind of an answer you're looking for instead of trying to eliminate all the choices that aren't right first. Thinking of what kind of an answer you are looking for first will both help you save time as well as avoid getting tricked by answer choices that are designed to throw you off. Hopefully, your first reading of the passage gave you a good enough understanding of it to come up with potential answers as soon as you read most of the questions. However, if the question asks for something really specific or for something you simply can't remember, then you'll need to resort to other strategies to do that question, like looking at the questions and then eliminating certain ones. Next, strategy number 2. Recognize answer choices that say too much. One of the common things the SAT writers like to do is give you answer choices that sound good, but that you simply can't justify from the passage. These choices might contain extra information not found in the passage, or they might jump to conclusions that you can't justify from the passage. No matter how tempting these answer choices might sound, if you can't find parts of the choice in the passage, or if you can't justify a part of the choice from the passage, you should be very suspicious and avoid picking these choices. Instead, pick only the choices that are clearly and unambiguously covered by and justified by the passage itself. For a lot of questions, the most obvious or simplest answer is correct, simply because the other choices say too much. Next, strategy number 3. For questions that reference a line or lines from the passage, also look above and below the line reference. A lot of times, the answer to the line reference questions is not found within the line or lines themselves, but rather in the context surrounding the lines. So, don't just look at the line reference. Look around it to see if there is any key information you need to answer the question. For example, take a look at this SAT critical reading question. Mr. Beebe asked the question in lines 6 through 7, does ... quietly, primarily in order to A. Raise an urgent concern, B. Anticipate a possible objection, C. Challenge a widely accepted theory, D. Note an apparent inconsistency, or E. Criticize a popular pastime. Without even knowing what the passage is about, we can probably tell that what is contained within the line reference itself, which is just 2 lines, will not be enough to answer the question. Rather, we're going to need to look around the line reference in its context to find out why Mr. Beebe is asking this question and which answer choice to pick. So, just because a question gives you a line reference does not mean that you're going to be able to find the answer in the line reference alone by itself. For a lot of questions, there's a good chance that the answer is not found within the line reference itself, but rather above or below it in its context. A lot of students get tricked into just looking at the line reference, when the point of the question is to actually practice looking at the context surrounding the line reference. Strategy number 4. Mark the answer choices with an X, a question mark, or a check mark as you go through them. To help you keep track of decisions that you make about each answer choice as you go through each of the answer choices, mark each answer choice with either an X, a question mark, or a check mark. An X means that you can definitely eliminate the choice. A question mark means that the choice is a possibility and you'll come back to it to make sure. And a check mark means that there's a very good chance that this choice is correct. After you find a choice that is a check mark, simply compare it to the choices you put a question mark by to make sure there's no better choice. Then simply make your decision and then move on. Using this process will help you go through each question more efficiently, effectively, and quickly. For example, let's say we read a question like this. The primary purpose of passage 1 is to A. Make a comparison, B. Dispute a hypothesis, C. Settle a controversy, D. Justify a distinction, or E. Highlight a concern. Now obviously, we don't have the passage in front of us to actually do this question, but let's just walk through the process of marking the choices for this question. The passage was about the problem of lots of spam in our email inboxes. So from this, we know we're looking for a choice that portrays this negative effect of spam upon email. Choice A sounds kind of okay, since maybe the author is comparing lots of spam to no spam. Choice B will put an X by, since it's clear that there's no hypothesis in the passage that the author is disputing. Choice C will put an X by also, since there's no controversy that the author is settling. Choice D will also put an X by, since the author isn't making a distinction between anything in the passage. And choice E sounds pretty good, since the author obviously has concerns about how widespread spam has become, so we put a check mark by it. Finally, we compare choice E to choice A, and we decide that choice E is the better choice, so we pick choice E. For questions where we're not sure between two or more choices, this method is a great way to eliminate obviously wrong choices and then choose the best choice from the remaining choices. This is an efficient and effective method to work through questions systematically and logically. So, these are the top 4 SAT critical reading strategies and tricks to use to raise your SAT critical reading score. Check out our other videos for more strategies for the SAT test. Make sure to like and subscribe to support and stay updated with our videos. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.